What is good? Whew. Cannot believe we're doing this. What is good? What is good? What is good? It is me, it is I, once again, aka DJ Bitch, and you know we're gonna party in this bitch. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Please do make sure that you click on that like button. Please also make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you never ever miss a thing. As you can see from the title of the video, today I've decided to share a personal story. It is a story time today, a hectic one to a degree, I guess. But I've been experiencing a lot of issues. As you can see from the title of the video, I was sexually assaulted, and I've kept it. I kept it to myself for the most part. Very few people know about it. I thought that if I ignored it when it happened, it would be easier to forget. But I've been experiencing a lot of things that have brought up issues, and I guess after really thinking on it and, you know, noticing certain habits I've developed, it's a result of what happened. So today I'm just gonna share my story, and hopefully it's gonna help me get over it. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I actually baked my own cake and I'm gonna eat it. Where to begin? Before we start, I just want to say how proud I am of myself. I used to be a person who always had to do a face beat before I went on camera, and I've just become so comfortable just going on without. I'm also more conscious of maintaining a skin routine. I think it helps. It's a lot better for you to just like help yourself get better skin-wise, health-wise, as opposed to always just trying to cover stuff up. So today I'm gonna wear my scars. I'm just gonna take a second because I'm already feeling the type of way, blah blah. Okay, I actually didn't think this would be that difficult to talk about, but I'm already just feeling all types of ways. But to get comfortable, you have to start by being uncomfortable, so I'm gonna do this. So I was sexually assaulted in 2020. About a month actually after I graduated, but I was still in Cyprus because I graduated just around the same time that COVID started, and so all the borders were closed, so I was kind of stuck there. However, he's still there, a really good friend of mine, Fatah. I'm gonna attach a photo. He was like, let's go party with, you know, our Kenyan friends and, you know, Malawans. We had different crews from different countries, so it was easier to know who's going just from that. And I was like, sure, I absolutely love those guys. We had so much fun together, you know, in different places and things like that. So we decided to go party in a different city. We didn't live in that city, Famagusta, better known as Magusta. It's kind of far. It's kind of far from where we used to live. We used to live in Nicosia. And so we went to a restaurant, we had a great time, and then we moved to this club. It was a club called Coachella. That was really funny for me, but we had a really, really great time. So the plan was that Fatah and I were going to stay by a friend of his, and everyone else is gonna catch the bus straight after the club or the taxis or whatever to go back to Nicosia. But our plan was to stay in that city, and then we would travel back together on the following morning. Well, it was already morning because clubs there kind of stop partying around 4 a.m. and they only pop off around midnight, so there's no point in going early. So we went, we had a great time, and then the club closed. So where this girl stayed, Fatal's friend, unfortunately she lived in a dorm hotel, and the rules were that you're allowed to bring in somebody. However, it has to be, you can only bring one person, but we were two. And so she came up with a plan for us to go chill by her friend's house, which was not in a dorm, but it was an apartment. So we were like, okay. We weren't gonna stay really because it was already after 4, so we were just waiting for the sun to rise and things like that. And so we went. It was these 3 Zimbabwean guys. I was just like, okay, you know, not my friends. He trusts her, so I was like, okay. So we chilled, and then at some point he decided to walk her home, and he took a little longer than expected. During this time, 2 of the 3 guys had passed out, and I was feeling tired, so they passed out on the other couches, and I was on the other one. And the one guy, I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't really watching, to be honest. I was just sleepy. You know, we had partied all night, and so I'm sorry. I really thought this issue doesn't really bother me like that, but I guess it does. And as I said before, I don't talk about it. So I think, honestly speaking, that's just how I've been coping, because I've always ignored it. But anyway, so these other 2 guys passed out, and I was feeling sleepy, so I was sitting, but I just, you know, bobbed my head onto the couch, like, you know, something like this. And this big guy, he was very, very big. I think he was like, I would say possibly 6 foot, 5 something, 5 to 6. I don't know, he was big. He was a big guy. He stepped on me, and he told me not. He literally stepped on me with his shoe. And he stepped on my bum specifically. And he told me not to sleep. And I was like, why? I'm tired. And he's like, no, you shouldn't sleep. And I didn't understand what that was about. But the other 2 had passed out, so I was also, but I didn't know these people, so I really didn't know what I was supposed to say. At some point, I felt uncomfortable, and so I got up. I think I wanted to go use the toilet, but I didn't end up doing so, because as I walked towards the toilet, he came after me from behind, and he grabbed my bum so violently. It's almost like he was trying to tear through my clothes. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should scream or anything, because I now didn't know if these other 2 were going to be a part of this, or, you know, because they came together, so they know each other. Do you know what I mean? He did that for a few minutes as I tried to get away, and at some point there was a knock on the door. But before then, actually, the other issue is that I didn't know how to go about it, because we didn't know where we were, and he was the one who was supposed to leave us by the bus station that was going to bring us back to Nicosia. So we had that issue as well. So now I didn't know if I needed to. I was just in shock. I honestly didn't know what to say, what to do. my friend then knocked on the door. As soon as he knocked onto the door, I just walked out. And he kept saying to me, I guess he looked at me and he could see something was wrong. And he just said, he asked me what was wrong. And I couldn't say much, but my eyes were really teary. And I just said to him, please, let's just go. As soon as I wanted to tell him what happened, but the guy came after me pretty much as soon as I got downstairs. And I just said to him, please, we just need to get out of here. So I just kept quiet. I guess I was trying to figure out if I was going to report it, but I didn't even know where. Like I said, we didn't even know where we were. And it was like around 5:30 or 6. There was barely anybody up and about, in the streets. So he made sure he walked right between me and Fatah. But the angle that he walked with us at, he made sure Fatah was slightly in front of us, and so he grabbed me again from behind as we were walking in the streets. And I kept looking around, hoping someone would see it or do something, because the real issue is, honestly speaking, I really just wanted to get out of there. And the fact that this is the person who was the only way for us to find our way out, I just kept quiet and just hoped that the bus station was close and we could just leave. He kept on grabbing me, and then at some point he lifted my shirt and he tried to dig his hand into my underwear. He did open it up from the back, but then I just grabbed his hand and I flung it out. And I tried to walk at the same pace as Fatah, and I remember he hugged Fatah and I was just like fine. I got into the bus and I just broke down right then. I don't know if it was the fear of I don't know what was gonna happen to me, but even that just felt really, really horrible. Really, really horrible. I don't understand how a lot of Zimbabweans, actually, maybe not all, but I will say I experienced a lot of homophobic reactions from Zimbabweans during my first year and a half in uni, and then it stopped. But I always, to be honest with you, I did notice that a lot of the people that shifted or changed wasn't necessarily because they suddenly respected me or anything like that. In terms of the men, it was more so because I used to hang out or live with a lot of girls or hot girls, things like that. So it's kind of like, it's easier to get to them through him, which is sad, but I was always conscious of it. But, I didn't see it coming, more so because I figured, most guys don't even want to hear about anything like this. And it's not like we talked about anything. I don't get it, And for someone of that crowd to then do that, in a way I want to say it didn't make sense, but truth be told, a lot of people who show homophobic behavior, in my own experience, and according to also some of my friends, they're the same ones who you always find in your DMs or the DL. So what I don't understand is why go with that approach? Why not just talk to somebody? You know what I mean? But anywho, we got onto the bus, I had my breakdown, and I was kind of upset with my friend because I felt like if he was there, none of that would have ever happened. But at some point, I had to just accept that it wasn't intentional, he never planned it, and that was just me just going through my emotions. I got home, I changed, and I just curled up in a ball and I was under the blanket. I actually did not leave the room for about the house rather. I didn't leave the house for about 2 to 3 days. to or how it was gonna go down. I was also afraid that they would come back for me. We didn't exactly have the land I was in is very strange. There's rights, but they aren't. It's like it's there, they know, but so reporting it, you're not really sure if anything's really gonna happen. Also, I didn't even know who the hell he was. So I think I gave myself a few days and I just brushed it off. However, a couple of months later actually, I came back home, and since then I never liked anyone coming up from behind me. I'm always in a state of shock, like I don't even know how to explain it, but those who know me have noticed, and so I decided to start getting therapy because it's gotten really bad. I freak out no matter where I am if anyone just tries to touch me from behind. Sometimes even people that are close to me. I've found myself in situations that have forced me to explain why I'm like that. Because it's just gotten worse. It's just been progressing. And really and truly, I guess it's true, when you really just keep something inside, it just eats you up. It doesn't really do anything. Yeah, it doesn't. But it's also difficult to just talk about things like that, And as much as they say talk to people, not everyone experiences that, so it seems like what's the point if someone cannot even relate to what I am saying? But after I've had a few sessions and I'm better. I'm not all the way there, but I'm trying to be. I still find it difficult to bring up. It just makes me very emo, like so quickly. Yeah, maybe because I've always wondered why he did that. Why did that happen to me? But because I didn't have those answers, I brushed it off as best as I could. But PTSD has caught up to me, so I have to do something about it. And I thought maybe taking this step and sharing my story may help me and maybe somebody else. Don't suffer in silence. It's really hard though, but don't, because really and truly it takes a toll on you when you're alone. That person's moved on, they don't even care, to them it's just another day. But I think it's time, honestly, that people just speak up on it. I've encountered a lot of male friends or acquaintances that have stories to tell about being sexually assaulted, but generally men don't talk about things like this, or people don't take it that seriously, or at least in my culture. But slowly but surely people are beginning to open up about it. But it's important that we discuss these issues, and everybody just needs to get help, at your own pace, because you know your own trauma. But yeah, I decided to get therapy, and it gets better. It's a process, but it gets better. I hope that in a few months I it's not something that's even difficult for me to talk about anymore. And I like to bring up other topics, that deal with such kind of trauma and things like that, for not necessarily for me only, but for many others, because when one person speaks, it's a lot easier for somebody else to, But yeah, that's my story. Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Bye.